Welcome back to Marvel Maniac and MCU After Show. This is your host, Eric Cicada, aka Mr. Honest. Happy to be back here with you today. I was going to talk about Infinity War today. And I'll tell you why. I wasn't going to say it's because my birthday is the air date of this episode, okay? And I wanted to give myself the gift of talking about my favorite Marvel movie of all time. However, as you see in the title, I can't stop obsessing and thinking over the new Avengers. And rather than jump into my old movie while I have another movie on my mind, don't call Infinity War old. There's so much to say about that movie still that I will cover soon. It has to do with the new Avengers with Doctor Doom and Infinity War. Let's just say I believe they need to draw from Infinity War's energy and structure to make Doomsday a viable, awesome movie, because there's so many characters in it, and I hope they don't forget that. But that's not what I'm here to talk to you about today. I want to come back to you and tell you I've been thinking all week, every day, about the new Avengers and how that twist changed everything, in my opinion. I think they did the rebranding so fast. I think it was always a plan, by the way. I think they did do that on purpose, and to take the name and put it out there so publicly so soon, because the real big deal here is that there's a new Avengers. So what they did was they double promoted. They knew that the audience was there for the Thunderbolts, at least a niche audience. We'll talk a little bit more about the team up and where all these characters come from. Another reason I wanted to talk today on this topic. And something just tells me I'm not the only one. I'm seeing a lot of extra listens on my Thunderbolts and New Avengers movies. You know, I want to say I followed literally the Twitter of Thunderbolts, and I saw online 3 different places that they renamed it, and they were making it public. So instead of waiting another day or two, I just put my new title up for my review episode because it felt like it was kind of in the fashion of the movie. I think that reveal, like I said, I was going into the fact that now they're calling it the new Avengers so fast because it is a great movie. The fans know it's a great movie. Now with a new name, it's viable to bring in a whole other audience, maybe even a general audience, right? Like who didn't see all the shows, who don't know these characters that well. You can get to know them through this movie, and this movie is incredible in retrospect, even more so. And I'll keep on telling you why. I think the future of the MCU is completely affected by the new Avengers, more so than any other movie. This phase has to do with the overall plot. These guys are returning, as we know at the end of the credits, it said. And the team is just, it's opposite of the regular OG Avengers, okay? Like, the characters are underdogs. And look, I don't know how else to say this. I said it in one episode. Mental health is important to me. I've struggled with it. I'm dealing with it. It's a lifelong battle. People have issues, and it's really hard to overcome those issues for whoever it is, whyever they may be. But issues of the brain that makes you stop, that makes you do things you don't want to, that makes you say things you don't mean, that turns you into a person that you aren't. There's a toxicity, and that flows through podcasts. That could be anywhere. It could be on the TV. It could be in a book. It could be on the bus next to a stranger. That energy, for me, I'm an empath, so I feel it. I feel negative energy. And I've gone through a lot being diagnosed as bipolar, and I don't talk about that too much, but it took a long time to get that diagnosis. It took plenty of doctors to get in the right place, but for 2 years straight now I'm completely stable, and taking the journey to fix my mental health as long as I needed to do so was the best thing I could have ever done for myself. Why am I talking about this here? Am I about to give you a BetterHelp, sales pitch? No, not yet, at least. The thing I'm trying to tell you is I think these characters in this movie all have a dark history. They could have called them the Dark Avengers, but publicly, Val is literally seeing a void that needs to be filled. So I think I'm getting all sorts of nostalgia because even though the teams are so different, these new Avengers, compared to the first Avengers, Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, Black Widow, they're special in their own way. They're underdogs, more so than the original Avengers. They are not your expected heroes. We don't know why. Also, we didn't get much clarification on Bucky as a senator. I think we need a little bit more on that, but it might have gotten cut out. There might have been stuff that just had to get cut out. Like I heard Taskmaster was actually in the movie a lot longer originally, and then they cut her out, so they actually had to do a lot to cut her out of the whole movie. If I were that actress, I probably would be a little sad. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I wonder if they warned her. I don't think they did. Something in me says they did not warn her. What if she went to the premiere and that happened and she didn't even know Taskmaster? What if she didn't even know? What if she thought she was through the whole movie? Oh, dude, that's cringy. I think they would tell her. It would. I feel like I would love to be told if I were her. I would not want to be like shocked like that. This has no connection to what we're talking about, so I apologize. I actually do want to connect it back to the mental health deal. Not trying to shove information down your throat. I want to let everyone know if you have an issue, if you have a problem, if you're crying and you don't know why, you can reach out to people. You can reach out to family. You can reach out. It might not be as easy as you think to get to the doctor, but it is easier. It was easier than I thought, and I thought it would be very hard. You can fix this, and you don't have to live alone with your issues. You can go and do good and become an Avenger. Now, Yelena, Red Room. She was just like Black Widow, a spy assassin her whole life. We got our new Black Widow. White Widow was her name on Fortnite. I don't know if we're going to end up calling her that. I like Black Widow, but I think either way, it's great. She's amazing. Bucky, literally the Winter Soldier, killed so many people across the years, across the decade, across the hundred of years. Bucky was a weapon, and now he kind of still is. He's very powerful. But he's using it for good. John Walker, the U.S. agent, he was completely out of touch with what you do on the battlefield when you lose a comrade. Not even that. I don't know what you're supposed to do. All I know is he was a soldier. He disrespected the shield of Captain America and the title in the brutal way. He killed the guy who he thought was responsible for his second-hand man, Lamar, his death. Happened so fast, he doesn't connect who did it. It was really Carly, the main antagonist. She did the final blow. But the whole point was Captain America just murdered somebody with a shield. And the shield has never been used like that. Maybe a little bit. Actually, Captain America in Civil War does that to Iron Man, but it's only to take out his core. It's not the John Walker. John Walker was almost an irredeemable character. They gave him some good redemption at the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but this movie was so perfect for him. And the arc that led him here was fun. And you didn't have to know. You didn't have to see Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Because they do a thing where, he's reading an article about he was old Captain America, fall from grace. They fill everyone in on the backstories and what you need to know to enjoy this movie. All I'm saying is another dark history. We have Ghost, who, her whole life she was exposed to radiation. Her dad was a scientist, and Dr. Foster, his friend, had been trying to cure ghosts her whole life of this thing where she's traveling in and out and being restitched together, and she couldn't have any control over what was even slightly a power for her. Now she's got those powers under control. So Sentry, he's built out of a world of darkness. He literally is darkness. Alexei, he used to be the super soldier, the Red Guardian of his country. And he has had a fall from grace. And he tells Yelena how much being a hero, it means to him. It's honestly the best. People treating you like you're glorious because you are. So that redemption, the haven't been back on the field for a long time. Every one of these characters. Did I miss one? I may have, but I what I'm just trying to say is these are all redeemed characters, right? Except for Taskmaster. Even Val throughout the movie, I'd say, is slightly humbled. She's cold as hell, though, isn't she? She just goes with it. Like by the end of the movie, like we did get the new Avengers reveal, but maybe it's telling that one of the new Avengers is the guy who caused all these issues a moment ago. I'm so happy that he's able to bring them back, though. I've seen theories via Screen Crush that they're going to send the Void to the other world that we're having the incursion with in Doomsday, and just have the Void black out the entire world that's causing the incursion. That's dark, honestly. I just love the character dynamics here, and I think everyone's complicated history puts a layer of callous over them. Like, Yelena is so chill when she's doing this mission at the beginning of the movie, and she like literally watches a whole floor of a building blow up that she didn't. She's like, it's done. Like, she's out of touch, and she lost her sister, and she's been through the ringer, man. I love redemption, and I love culmination, and this is from 3 or 4, I think 3 movies of different, characters, and culminating these post-credit scenes with Allegra De Fontaine. Why can't I think of her name? Anyway, she has been putting this together in the background. It's been the kind of side story everyone's been looking at the whole phase, and to have them pull it into Avengers movie, I was actually surprised. And it reframes the movie. The name of the movie, it's like when they name it the Avengers, these are the new Avengers at the end, the whole tone shifts. Like, even like the sky and the blue clouds come out. And the 14 months later, I said 14 years later twice last week, by the way. Good Lord. 14 months later, they are still a team. They seem like the best of buds. And we know that Sam Wilson is trying to get a copyright strike on them. Like, I saw one video talking about like how that was like a joke, but I don't think that's a joke. I think these Avengers teams are going to be at odds end. I mean, Sam has a history with John Walker, U.S. agent, formerly Captain America. He has a history with he has a problem with the history of probably most of these people. Many and all credits to Screen Crush for some of these things that I'm saying. I know I'm drawing from some of the things they said. They're my favorite. Ryan Airy's my man, and I like Colton. I like all the people they bring on there. Go check out Screen Crush after this. I'm sure you know them, but I just got to give my praise because they sometimes they point out stuff. That's a great point. This team, the thing about it is, despite all their flaws, despite being kind of troubled in history, maybe similar to why Sam doesn't want them to be a government like run Avengers team, it's because they work and they actually have a camaraderie, and I like seeing Yelena and Bucky just interact. Or I like the Red Guardian so much. He might be my favorite new character of the MCU. He is so funny, so lighthearted. The moment in the movie where Yelena needed like a pep talk or something, and I haven't seen it again yet, but I couldn't wait. It's just lingering in my head. I love this movie. The pep talk he gives her, it's like, I don't see you for your mistakes. That's all she needed to hear. And she was able to walk into the void. And then the best part about this is it was still a powerful movie. There was still action. We got to see the freaking Sentry go insane fighting these guys. And he was going easy on them. So there's like a lot of like, where's that going to lead to? But at the end of the day, it wasn't about fighting him. It was about going into the darkness with him, pulling apart their most traumatic memories piece by piece, and giving him a damn hug, showing him you have a family and you're not alone despite who you are and what's wrong with you and your flaws. And we're the new Avengers. That journey to that moment made them Avengers. And Bob wasn't knowingly doing this, purposely doing this. He was experimented on. He was mistreated by Val. So this is just a very discombobulated version of the Avengers. However, there's so much hope embedded in them, in my opinion, and it gives me feelings of the original Avengers. It wasn't a giant battle where the world will explode because of a nuke and the aliens and Loki, and it's more of a culmination of Phase 4. Let's be honest, it was a rough phase. It's been a rough kind of time for Marvel. For me personally, my criticism, I think mostly all of it was fun, at the very least. It just makes me wonder what kind of conflicts are going to arise if this was actually a scene from Doomsday and that post-credit scene 14 months later where every character looks even more badass. They're still a team. They still have Sentry. They don't know how to use Sentry. The thing that concerns me is the new Avengers will return at the end, and Bob. They don't put him in there. So, like, it makes me worried that we're going to have a really bad moment, like a self-destructive team moment in Doomsday where Bob either loses it or fails or maybe saves the day. I don't know. He's a wild card to bring in this close to the next big one. However, it's a faction now. They have their strong hero. A lot of them have super soldier serum. They got their Black Widow. They're not classic, but they are iconic in my eyes. And they are a culmination of all the good, bad, whatever you want to call it, in this multiverse saga. It is a true Avengers movie. And I can't wait to see it again in that light. It's a special movie for me. I hear Ryan Airy and TJ, two different entities in my life, both say that best movie since Guardians, which I'm surprised came out a while ago now. Oh my gosh. That was a fantastic movie, but nothing like this movie. They're different, very different movies. They're a team-up movie. That's about the closest they have. For me, and I liked a lot that was going on here. I'd say even this was close to the Multiverse of Madness, and I love the Multiverse of Madness. If anything, I'd put it up there with Guardians. Like, they're on a very close shelf. It's so hard. I love these movies that I'm just not going to pick one over the other. This one was a ride. This one felt different. This one felt like a game changer, more so than others. I've never come on the show and done 3 episodes in under a week on one thing. This is a turning point, and we are about to see, after that post-credit scene, the Fantastic Four come through that portal, or so we think. Colton Ogborn of Screen Crush, Ryan Airy, these guys, I watch them. They're my favorites to watch. They mentioned that maybe there's somebody else in there. Maybe it's a fake out. Maybe it's just the ship. Who knows? Maybe their world didn't get destroyed, but it would be saved if they left. There's so many different reasons that ship could be there at that time. And I think it might be a little bit of a trick, like Screen Crush said. I'm going to see, and you will see in Doomsday next year. Maybe they'll even include the whole post-credit scene as part of the movie. But I'm sure if that's true, Sam will probably stop arguing about copyrights when Doctor Doom arrives. I do find that kind of funny. Like, something crazy is about to happen, and when they're fighting over the copyrights, can't this country / world use 2 superhero teams? Why does there have to be one? Well, is it because if it's because of their history and you're concerned with them being bad people? I guess that makes sense, a little more sense. But trust Bucky. Bucky is your friend, and Bucky wouldn't let you down. Even in my mind, Alexi with the Avengers with the Z, and he's trying to like promote them. Like, he's trying to take so many advertisements, and he's just like happy as hell, living his best life. That's what I just love it. I love the team. And it's not that I won't love any other teams. I just think it's fantastic. Why doesn't Sam start the West Coast Avengers or the new Avengers or just the classic Avengers? I mean, I'm assuming the names aren't going to change on Doomsday and Secret Wars. So, I mean, they're still the Avengers. The Avengers have more become like a big blanket of every superhero that can show up to a big battle. This is why we need sub-teams. And the fact that they didn't keep the Thunderbolts is a pretty strong indicator to me that they want us to believe these guys are going to be around for a while, or they're going to pull out the rug from under us and do them all like they did Taskmaster in this movie. Who knows? I'm excited for it. If they do that, it would hurt. And sadly, when movies make us hurt, they make us feel, and it shows how alive they are. And that's the beauty of the MCU. It goes and it goes and it keeps on going because it's its own world. Knowing all these stories are happening under the same roof, it's just going to be crazy to go into a place like Battleworld where a lot of this does seem grounded on Earth. It'll be interesting to see everyone pit up against each other, how that's going to be done. I really do predict and hope we get to see RDJ in Fantastic Four, if not the post-credit scene at the very least, but we will see. I realizing Thanos, they introduced him in 2014 in Guardians the first time, and then Infinity Wars 4 years later. So, felt like a long 4 years, but now that I'm a little older, 4 years is less. We're not going to get into that. Anyway, wish me birthday luck. I'm going to virtue signal, happy birthdays. Go Follow our Patreon to support us. We're going to be putting up mini episodes soon. We have a tip jar in our about/comment section. If you can donate, wonderful. If not, you're still wonderful. Never expected, always appreciated. And I want you to know we'll be back here Wednesday, bright and early, for Miss Marvel episode 2. I actually had a lot of fun covering the first one, and I'm loving the fact that we're going to be going through that together. It makes me feel like I didn't miss it, and we're just making up for lost time. Well, that is all I got for today. Thanks for listening to me. Thank you for being here most of all, and you have yourself a wonderful weekend and week. Until next time, new Avengers, disassemble.